meeting was made about the studies that the National University has conducted in conjunction with other institutions regarding the social vulnerability of the department about hurricanes. The results show that 70% of the population has a high level of vulnerability.
During the morning in the Waldwin Peterson Auditorium of the Coral Palace, the result of the studies carried out by the National University in the department were shared. Andres Fernando, a National University professor and director of the Center of Excellence in the Marine Sciences at Semarine, spoke about it.
We have so far identified with a mathematical modeling all the hurricane threats, which are basically rain, wind, tide, and waves. In other words, when we are flooded by rain, how much are the wind gusts? And how much are the coastal floods? We have generated hazard maps basically for each of these variables. We have taken them in the most critical events such as the Iota, the Eta, the Joan, but we have also modeled others and we have identified those areas of greater threat due to the events.
According to the study, so far 70% of the population is physically and socially vulnerable.
We have just confirmed by models the most critical zones. By black, we have generated a map with red zones, yellow zones, and green zones, where we identify the most critical points that are flooded more by rain, more vulnerability by winds. They made recommendations of the study with the committee and the entities involved, especially in terms of cleaning drainage and rainwater systems, and recommendations in terms of securing roofs in some areas and cutting down trees.
Osorio Arias stated that the department is not prepared for the hurricane season.
And in order to avoid more road accidents involving off-road vehicles, or commonly known as mulita, the local government is advancing a control strategy on these vehicles.
In view of the accident cases that have been occurring in the department due to the off-road vehicles commonly known as mulita, the Secretariat of Mobility announced that measures will be taken to control the rental establishment of this type of vehicle.
Nosotros, por parte de la Secretaría de Movilidad,
the accident rates on the island have grown worryingly. On our side, as the Secretariat of Mobility, we are planning to take preventive action measures to these types of vehicle. We have noticed that some of these vehicles are not complying with their SOAT. They are not complying with its technical mechanical review. Some do not have the National Tourism Registration. Therefore, on the behalf of the Secretariat of Mobility, in coordination with the Secretariat of Tourism, National Police, and Secretariat of Government, we will conduct preventive operations where we will be approaching these establishments to ask for the necessary documentation.
Data from the Secretariat of Mobility indicate that the number of road accidents in the department has increased so far this year compared to 2020, as indicated by the head of this office, Luis Torres.
Tenemos un 33% de aumento en casos de fatalidad.
We have 33% increase in cases of fatalities on the island. We are very concerned at this point. We have registered up to June 45 accidents on the roads, and last year a total of 70. Obviously, the increase in 6 months has been quite significant. It is time to take action and take a firm hand against this type of issue.
In the coming days, the Secretariat of Mobility, Tourism and Government will be finalizing details for the start of preventing operation to businesses of off-road vehicles.
A new curfew restriction schedule was implemented, which was extended until 1 a.m. Gisela Livingston from the streets of the island with more information.
Hello, Lisa and Ali TV viewers. We're here on the street asking the owners of the business and the taxi drivers and also to the community in general what they think about the new hours of the curfew or toque de queda. This is what they think.
Como taxista también nos conviene.
As a taxi driver, it is convenient for us because now people stay longer on the street without having to be in a rush and without crowds, and in that way we can make a little bit more money.
Es algo muy beneficioso para todos los locales comerciales.
It is something very beneficial for our commercial establishments, for restaurants, for some bars, because with the restriction that was coming, things were very tight. but thanks to the decision of the departmental government, it will be possible to work much better and there will be a better service.
Okay, we will continue developing this information for another emission. This is all for now. For Teleislas News, Gisela Levinson. Have a good day.
Thank you, Gisela. And in other information, 2 people were captured by the National Police in the Cliff neighborhood. According to sources, they would be connected to the murder that occurred last Saturday in a barber shop in the schoolhouse sector. Teleislas News will be attentive to the statements of the Departmental Police Command. And we continue with important information for people with a B2 level or higher in English. There is an open call so that they can be linked to work.
Lisa and Aldi TV viewers, I say hello from here from the town of the island, specifically here by the Sena, because they want to announce a new open vacancy for all the people who speak English and write English in our department. We talked to the director of this entity, Lorena Aldana, who told us about this new opportunity.
Bueno, queremos contarle a toda la comunidad de San Andrés.
We want to share with the entire community of San Andres that through the Public Employment Agency of the Sena, we have a special open call for those people who have English proficiency, which means that they can read it, write it, and speak it. This is a call from a company that is looking for agents, and they offer services to multinationals and requires people over 18 years old. The hiring mode is unlimited term and is an opportunity for those who want to work in a remote capacity. This company also offers internet subsidy services. Interested persons can submit their resume to the mail that appears on screen, or they can also bring it to the gate clerk of the Sena in the New Ball Avenue, or also communicate through the WhatsApp number.
The director also wants to announce that they are going to open formation classes for this month, so it's important to you to follow all the social media of the Sena to keep up close that which program will be open.
El próximo viernes 9 de abril. Next Friday, July 9, we will launch a new call for vocational training. These are programs at the technical, operator, or assistant level. Therefore, people who are interested in improving their job profile should be attentive to the Sena.
The invitation then is to keep attentive to all the development of these vacancies and all these formation classes. This is the information from here, from the town of the island. Continue, Lisa, in studio.
Thank you, Alice. And from July 19, the implementation of the law prohibiting the use, marketing, and entry of single-use plastics to the department will begin. For this, the Environmental Corporation, together with the departmental administration, has been conducting an awareness campaign with the island population for 2 years.
It is important to remember that this law prohibits not only the entry of single-use plastic but also the commercialization and use of these plastic, as well as products such as decorative balloons in coastal areas. To raise awareness about this new measure, the corporation has carried out activities or campaign such as the No Plastic Bags Day.
The corporation has been working for 2 years, which is the transitional period of Law 1973. Now the corporation issued a resolution which adopts Law 1973 of 2019. Within these works that have been advancing, it has been established along with the government everything that has to do with the Day of No Bags that takes place on the 3rd day of each month. Additionally, there have been activities where the whole issue of the law is being shared, and there is also an inspection visit being carried out to all commercial establishments.
According to Lucelena Rojas, this is a very important regulation because it helps to protect and contribute to the protection of ecosystems within the archipelago department. The invitation is also that the community comply with this measure that will bring a collective benefit to the territory.
And now we're going to make an assessment of the current situation of the coronavirus in the department.
According to the latest report issued by the Ministry of Health at the national level, the department added 38 new cases of COVID in the last 24 hours, reaching a total of 6,458 cases since the beginning of the pandemic in the department the previous year. However, according to the last report issued by the Health Secretariat at the departmental level dated July 5th, there are currently 79 active cases of the island of San Andres and 6 active cases in New Providence. In total, there are 85 active cases throughout the department. The total number of deaths increased to 128, while the occupancy rate of the ICU as of date is 43%. The total number of samples taken to date is 31,877.
And now let's get to know other facts that are making news in our brief news sections of today.
In order to beautify the tourist areas and native lodgings of the island of Old Providence and Santa Catalina, the Painting Murals with Island Colors campaign was held. Through images that showed the natural wealth, the sea of 7 colors, the fauna and flora of the archipelago. The painting campaign was conducted by the island community personnel of the Marine Corps and the Antioquia Corporation present. The National Police of the department has been advancing a campaign focused on counteracting the crime of homicide on the island. With banners and door-to-door visits, the uniformed officers seek to counteract the commission of this criminal activity, inviting the community to always maintain tolerance and respect for others. In order to know the current status of water resources in San Andres, Carolina Environmental Corporation, through the Environmental Quality and Management Seas and Coast Subdirectorate and with the support of the Environmental Laboratory of the entity, monitored groundwater on the island to establish the sanitary and environmental conditions of these waters and make comparisons in dry and rainy periods and identify the time of year where the greatest contamination occurs.